All right, you heard about this case where justice is now looking at 5 Iranians who are apparently behind a plan to hack a New York dam. But all the way back in 2013, cyber expert Paul Viala says that we're only getting word of this now, but there might have been many since, many before. But it's scary. I mean, like you and I saying during the break, I mean, this is years ago. First of all, do we know how it came to light?
You know, the interesting part about this is it's an example of how the Iranians have been wanting to dive into the big pool with the Russians and the Chinese. And the second part about it is it makes sense. It's a good play on their part to go in after small infrastructure to check out vulnerabilities and also check our response time of how we respond to it. So all in all, is this something that's new? Absolutely not, Neil. It's the same type of vulnerability detection or penetration testing that was done prior to 9/11 to see where we're weak.
You know where this scares me, Paul, is that it's one thing to hack into a computer network or anything of that, where you shut it down or you make it impossible for folks to get online. But you do the same with a dam, or you do something that controls, you know, water. That's a whole nother...
Well, of course, and again, you're looking at in-state actors, so their agenda is entirely different than non-state actors. So you're looking at people that actually want to hurt the American
But if you hack into a dam, you can control, obviously, the opening and closing, water in, water out of it, and being overly simplistic, you also can time it to just open up the spigot.
No question. Well, it's the same thing, Neil, if they hack into our traffic system and start turning lights on and off.
Right, right.
You know, it's the same exact thing. It's our infrastructure. It's weak.
We're so used to thinking of cyber spying and the rest to be just a computer thing.
Right.
It's a life and death, utility grid thing, that kind of thing. How much more of this is going on than we know?
A lot more. There's absolutely no question about that. And that's why when you look at it from the anti-crime perspective, so much time is being put into recognizing the in-state actors and what their agenda is on recognizing our vulnerabilities and exactly how they plan on going after them.
Separately, what you and I talking was urgent wires coming into us about the fellow who was granted immunity. Right. To testify on these the Hillary Clinton servers. She has said, and echoed it again in a debate, she's happy for this. Let's get it out there. Let's get it settled. If you're to watch other, I don't know, a left-leaning news channel, you'd be convinced there's nothing to this. Others say the fact that he has been granted immunity means he wanted immunity because he doesn't want to harm himself, but he could harm her. How so?
Yeah, there's no question about it. So when you look at the totality of what's going on right there, I mean, I respect what she's doing. She's trying to spin everything on a positive note. She wants to make sure that she sends a message, a branding message out, that she hasn't done anything and she's complying, and that's all there is to it. It's also a good shot to say that, well, you know, possibly it's just the right side coming after me. But at the end of the day, when you look at the legal system, there's no question that they've already convened a grand jury. Why are they? And then when they're bringing him in as a witness,
but you need something for authorities to take the next leap to charge her with stuff, right?
Right, exactly.
And
so
it seems to me that they don't have that yet.
He obviously has information of what they want. He just doesn't want to give it unless it means that he's going to be protected himself. So if I'm her,
what if he has is an information that could incriminate her, just to explain the process, and he wants this immunity just to, in the case he says something, doesn't threaten him at all?
Exactly. Which is why I'd be worried if I were her, because there's no question he's got information that's damaging.
This whole cyber issue beyond Hillary Clinton, I should say,
right.
Which of the Republican candidates is best poised to deal with it? Recognize the gravity of it.
That's a good question, and the reason why, Neil, is because I've yet to hear from any of the Republican candidates where they stand on protecting our infrastructure and what they plan on doing to reevaluate and reassess how vulnerable we are.
Well, Donald Trump has said, Paul, it would stop under me because I'd send the word out. It stops.
What does that mean, though, Neil? What does that mean? You know, when you look at a counter-terror vulnerability assessment, that's a process. It's also expensive. Where's the money going to come from? How are you going to rate the targets from hard to medium to soft? And how are you going to deploy personnel in order to assess that vulnerability? That's what I want to hear. Because I know we need to look at nuclear sites, but at the end of the day, Neil, going down 6th Avenue, I want to make sure no one's attacking that grid so that all of a sudden we have just mass chaos in this country. Whoever it is that's going to step up and sit in the Oval, they owe the American people an answer. And the answer is, how are you going to govern this country with respect to cybersecurity? Because it's a huge issue, and we haven't addressed it yet.
Paul, thank you very, very much.
Always a pleasure, Neil.